This is modern homesteading. To wildland or not to wildland? That is the question. You want a rigger's belt, that's what everybody wears. Wranglerstar, official Wranglerstar t-shirt. Wildland specific boots. Guess what one of these things costs? A few Z's. And we've got a incandescent. Two gear bags? What's that all about? Well, two different types of firefighters. Did you know that? There's structural firefighters, which put out houses, and then there's where my heart lies, wildland firefighters. And the question has been asked, why do we need wildland firefighters? Well, because structural firefighters need heroes too. So, as promised, we are going to get into the PPE, the personal protective equipment for the wildland firefighter. I'll show you what the 2014 best dressed, no. I'll tell you what a 2014 wildland firefighter looks like. So, as promised, you guys came through and gave me not only 5,000 thumbs up on our log cabin video, but over 6,000. So I promised at 5,000 I would give you a full review. So let's set up the tripod, dig into the bag, get yourself a cup of coffee, we'll go over it. This is going to be fun. Alright, well, fire season is really starting early. We've got a huge fire not too far from here in the city of Bend. Starting about a month or two early, so we are on alert. I could be receiving a call at any time. I'm always on call for to respond, so I have to have my equipment ready to go out the door at any moment. So let's start from the ground up. One of, if not the one of the most important parts of a wildland firefighter's kit are his boots. No surprise. You guys all know about this. Here are one of my pairs of wildland specific boots. What makes a wildland boot specific? Well, the government has very strict regulations on what constitutes a wildland firefighter boot. As of now, it needs to be 8 inches. That means 8 inches, this is an 8-inch boot, that high. Some of the most important components are the sole. It needs to have a fireproof sole, and you'll see a wildland boot will be stitched and screwed. Why is that? Well, because you're in excessive heat and it can't come loose. So if the stitching burns, you have the backup of the screws it will hold. I have seen crummy Danner boots that are glued together at the sole come off and have a big old flapping tongue on there because the heat from the ground during mop-up or whatever melted them and they failed. Also, no steel in the boot. Can't have any steel shank. If you don't know, most boots will have a heavy steel shank to protect you from the arch. Right there. So if you step on something right there, it won't go up and destroy your foot. You cannot have that. I made the mistake of wearing a pair in the first wildland fire I was on. It heated up and cooked my feet. I had to stand in buckets of water. So boots are essential, and the best boots you can get. These here are my custom-made Adams boots, and I also have White's boots. These are the ones I'm wearing now. You're not going to find a finer boot. So boots are critical. So while we're on boots, let's talk a little bit about socks. Your socks, which I can't find, we'll find them later. Whatever they are, need to be all natural. No synthetics. They can't have any blends in them. Either they have to be cotton or they have to be wool. Why is that? If you ever had hot molten plastic stuck to your skin, you don't want it. So we don't want anything like that. So with the boots and the socks covered, we'll go to pants. This is the traditional wildland firefighter pants. What makes them special is the material. They're made out of material called Nomex. It doesn't burn. They're very similar to a BTU style pant. They have a cargo pocket. You can see these are your standard issue. Velcro enclosures. They're nice pants. We've got the drawstrings at the waist. They are not BTUs. They definitely have a different feel. You can see right there. FSS. You know I like that. These are great pants. I've worn them for years. Of course, all of this stuff, I mean, this isn't the super high speed stuff. I mean, you can go aftermarket, and a lot of guys do with their own money and buy the real trick stuff, just like you guys in the military do. But this is the standard issue. This is what you're typically going to see. This is what you're going to be given. So, pants, drawstrings at the bottom. typical, pretty typical. Green, always green, and the shirts will always be yellow. After the pants are shirt. I got a covered belt too. Make sure I'll go get the belt. Belt's important as well. And again, Nomex. This is the typical standard issue Wildland Firefighter shirt. This is a newer one. This is one I just got, and I like it much better. It has a Mandarin style collar rather than the traditional like a regular button-up shirt collar. This really acts to protect your neck, and it's really well built. Nice. It's gusseted. It's got lots of pockets. It's got reinforcement on the elbows, and nice. A shoulder pocket here. You can put pens in. I put a Sharpie in there. Why? I love Sharpies. I like the way they smell. I write on everything with Sharpies, so I always have a Sharpie. For no other reason than I just like them. Gusseted in the back. Extra material so you can have a really broad range of motion. Again, standard issue. Extra large, long. That's my size. Yellow Nomex shirt. Gloves. Well, let's go into helmet. Helmets are usually plastic. Sometimes the baseball style, sometimes the full brim, but almost always plastic. I've never seen the metal ones on there. What makes these unique? A couple things. They have to be all ANSI approved. They have to be official Wildland helmets. They have to be able to take a chin strap. You see right there. Chin straps are required for Wildland firefighting. Also, you've got to have some Velcro on there for a passport patch or accountability patch. I run an engine. So I have a sticker that has my engine number. So whenever I leave that engine, it sticks on there. So they can identify who I'm with, where I'm at. So that typical 3M reflective coating on it. Again, pretty standard for Wildland helmets. And a battery powered or external battery powered headlamp. Yes, this is not the greatest headlamp in the world. This is made by Pelican, the same company that makes the nice heavy duty cases. The fire service, I imagine, just like the military, is not always on the cutting edge. And are there better headlamps than this? Absolutely. Everything that I own is better than this, but this is the issue. This is one that they like to give out. This is the equipment that I've been issued. So, what do we have here? We've got 3 LEDs, and we've got a incandescent halogen. They just can't give it up. That LED technology, it's not proven yet. It's that newfangled. It might fail. Yeah, right. So that's what we have. Up, of course, for the LEDs, down for the halogen, 4 AA batteries. Everything in the Wildland service runs on AA batteries. It is the standard. When you're in the fire camp, they'll give you cases of them. So everything's AA. So that's that. Rubber band, nice. Also, the Wildland helmets are going to have the retainers there to hold your headlamp. Pretty standard. In addition, and one thing that's really critical is the shroud. Wildland fires are hot with flying embers, and you're actually working right up in there. And this is something that makes all the difference. It's a Nomex shroud. It's made out of the same material as the pants and the shirt. You can see here that it covers up all of your skin. Works really well with the Mandarin collar because, I'll put all this on and show you here at the end, because it tucks up underneath there. Again, covers your skin. And then you can wear your goggles there and you're all covered. So that's really nice. This just Velcros in. You can see right there, there's Velcro attachments at 3 points. That's also a feature of the Wildland helmet. It's going to have all that stuff equipped in there. This stuff is all standardized, for the most part. So it's, what you're going to get. So that is the Wildland helmet. Goggles are required on the Wildland Firefighter the fire ground if you are going to be around or involved in helicopter ops for obvious reasons. This is just a standard single lensed standard safety goggle, high quality. Good goggles, so you wear that kind of like that. You can, if you're not going to be around helicopter ops, you can have standard eye protection. A lot of guys go for this. Kind of a personal choice there. So that's the helmet. Gloves. Well, let's go into the whole web gear pack. Again, this is not the fast, high-speed, super cool, latest, greatest stuff. This is just what I've used for a long time, and it just works. And because I'm I was a Type 6 engine boss back in the day, and will be running engines in future Wildland fires. I'm just too old for hand crews. That's a young man's sport. This is, right here, would be a typical web gear setup. What do we have here? We've got just your standard issue military web belt with load-bearing suspenders. This here is just kind of surplus. So, my department will issue these, and they'll all be yellow, FSS yellow, but they're essentially the same thing. This is just a couple of my own personal things. But there's what you have to have that's mandatory in the fire ground is a fire shelter. You must be joking. There's a part 2 to the Wildland Firefighter gear review? Man, we're already at 11 minutes. We can't go 20-minute videos. So yes, there's a part 2. So, right there. Right there. Click on that. That'll take you right to part 2. You won't want to miss it. Cover the shelter and all of the really good stuff. So, we'll see you over there.